Alright, my lighting's a bit better this time, so I'm gonna do one for you tonight. But, this is the, Pelle aka Dead Scream Part 2, so, because he does two types of screams, and what I covered last night was his, like, really, breathy growl thing, the, that, the, follow the freezing moon. That scream. That's what I did last night. But this time, I've washed my hair. My hair is better looking. It's not a frizz ball, so. But I'm gonna do a fucking part 2. So, this here part 2 is gonna be another type of scream that he would do. If you ever listen to the Live at Leipzig album, or Leipzig, I can't remember how it's pronounced, but Live at Leipzig album, where it was like one of the only full-length albums Dead was on. There was another one like Live in Zell, I can't remember, but it wasn't as good a quality as the Leipzig one. And there are a bunch of like studio recordings of Dead from like Helvete that recorded at Helvete, and also the little house out in where was that fucking town? I can't remember. That little woodland town that they lived in that red house that they rehearsed out of. The one that Dead shot himself in. I can't remember that house, where it was at, what town, but I know it was outside of Oslo. Not too far outside of Oslo, so, whatever. But anyway, God, it's on my mind now. I gotta look it up. I'll look it up in a minute. I'll look it up when I get done with this video and find out what it is. But anyway, Dead had another type of singing that he would do. You can call it singing. It's better than singing. Singing is nothing compared to this. This is like the ultimate way to just vent out rage, hatred, and depression, is what he did. It was like a tortured squeal, like he was being stabbed to death. It was like the most tortured, agonizing scream you can think of. It was like, you got blood-curdling screams, and then you got what Dead did. And I can't do it exactly, but he did it on Freezing Moon, Live at Leipzig, and he also did it on Funeral Fog. I don't know the lyrics to Funeral Fog. I just know that part where it goes, Funeral Fog, like that. And that's all I know. I know like the first part, kinda, but not really, not enough to show you his voice with it. But Freezing Moon, how did it start off again? Let me think for just a second, because I don't want to get it wrong. Yeah, everything here is so cold, everything here is so dark, that part. He doesn't open it up with the typical growl. You know how he did, and you know, you can look up that video on YouTube of him, that early demo of Dead, and he's like growling through it, and he's like, everything here is so old, everything here is so dark, a memory is from a dream, the corner of this time. But he doesn't do that in the lead sequence. He does this weird ass, it sounds like a Fry scream, like he's just like that, but it's more pained, I guess you could say. And he goes like, everything here is so cold, everything here is so dark, a memory is from a dream, the corner of this time. Like that. It's like this fucking distorted, raspy ass Fry scream. Now, how you do that? Because I'm going to show you how to do it. This is a tutorial, after all, not just me screaming for fun for 20 minutes. But, although screaming is fun, especially that vocal style in particular. But, Dead had this weird way of doing this. I guess I have practiced a lot, and I've got my own way of doing it. I just took the Kurt Cobain Fry scream and tighten my throat muscles up and really flex with my diaphragm, I guess. Not my diaphragm, excuse me, really flex my, fucked up my larynx or something. Like I really, really distorted my larynx. I don't know why I said my diaphragm. But it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. there's this muscle you can flex that'll pull your Adam's apple off if you're a dude. If you're a chick, got the same muscle. But, and how you do like that? Okay. Well, you're gonna be flexing that muscle when you're doing this type of scream that he's doing, and it's odd. Like, you'll know you're doing it right when you start to feel that thing flex. Even if the tone's not correct, everybody's got a different tone of voice, so you may not be able to do it like he did, but you can do it close, or if not close, you can still get the technique right, and you can use that technique in your own music, or whatever. Put your own variation on the dead scream technique. But, yeah, that scream is horrifying to listen to in some of the songs, like in Funeral Fog. There's an early demo where he does it, and he goes like, wait, how did he do it? Funeral Fog, like that. And it's this weird, distorted, almost sounds like he's being stabbed scream. And I feel if he would have stayed alive just long enough, I know he had these religious beliefs, not religious, but spiritual beliefs where he needed to die so that he could escape this world, because this world's a dream and all this stuff. But I hold similar views, but I understand he really wanted to die, but if you just would have waited long enough, another year to be on De Mysteriis Dom Satanas, holy fucking shit would that have been. It already is a legendary black metal album, don't get me wrong, but it would have gone from legendary to just cult status. It would be like the black metal album. It would be like the go-to thing, man. It would have been badass. I mean, Attila Caesar, what is his name? Attila Caesar, he's a great singer. Great black metal vocalist, but nah, man. He ain't got shit on Dead. That's for sure. He ain't got shit on Pelle, because Pelle was disturbed mentally, had been through holy fucking shit, had these weird ass views, and was tortured by his depression and all this shit, and that's, none of those are good things. I'm not saying they are, but it served his vocals well, because he'd pull from that, and like, I guess in his singing he'd vent. So that's why I said last night, it is easier to do this voice if you have some kind of depression. You can do it anyway, but it's gonna take more practice. Because I know that sounds like a stupid ass thing to say, but truth be told, if you've got some kind of mental pain going on, you can pull from that and vent from that and just do this blood-curdling scream, and that is very close to what Dead did. Dead didn't really use any particular technique. No particular technique. He would just scream from deep within his soul. I mean, doing that scream makes your throat hurt. If it's proper singing technique, your throat's not supposed to hurt. But like the Kurt Cobain scream, Kurt didn't give a fuck about his throat. He was just screaming because it sounded good to him. Dead, he wasn't doing what sounded good to him. He was doing what he thought would disturb people, and also he knew it would fuck with people if they heard this blood-curdling scream coming from him. And also, he did it to fuck with people. He knew it was disturbing to people, and also, he did it because he was hurting inside, and he was totally just fucked. Like, his mind was warped. I mean, what normal, sane person collects roadkill and, like, hides it under their bed? Or fucking nails it to the wall so they can smell death? Like, he wanted to be dead. Sorry about that. This light auto cuts off after a while, but he wanted to be dead, and his vocals reflected that. That's what I'm trying to say. His vocal style was of a corpse. It's of this person who was dying. That's what it sounded like. When he was screaming, it sounds like somebody's life force is being drained, or this fucking zombie screaming its guts out. That's exactly what he was doing. And, man, is it fucking cool. But I'll do a little bit of Freezing Moon for you. I'll try to mix in the Live at Leipzig style that he did with the traditional growl thing that he does. Because I did a cover the other day of Freezing Moon, but no drums. I don't have a drummer. I don't have any drums myself, and I don't have a drum machine, so I can't really do drums that great. I want to get a drum machine, but I don't have any drums at the moment. But, yeah. So all I could do was guitar. I do have a looper pedal, like I said before in my last video. I use that for all my music production stuff, so I can easily record guitar tracks and vocals over each other and post that. That's what I did. I just made a guitar and vocal cover of Freezing Moon, but the vocals are sort of drowned out at times by the guitar, as I intended it to be, but you can't get a good idea of the Pelle sound unless there's nothing else going on and you're just hearing it raw. So I'm just gonna do that, sing a little bit of the Freezing Moon. So there you go. Let's see. Gotta get that out of my system. I had to yawn real bad. Anyway, let's do this thing. So how does it start? Let's see. Oh yeah. Everything here is so gold. Everything here is so dark. A memory is from a dream. The corner of this time. Diabolic slow by. Out from the dark. It must have been here that I died by following the freezing moon. It's night again. Night, you're beautiful. I'll feed my hunger on living humans. Night of hunger. Follow its call by following the freezing moon. So yeah, there you go. That's a lot of breathing right there. If you're not careful, you will pass out. No, I'm joking, you won't pass out, but yeah. It's badass. That's really fun to do. But, that I did just a little bit of his little live at Lipsy, more like fry technique. It's really hard to do that and transition into the growl, but you can, like, let me do the funeral fog. Wait, this is the part where he's funeral fog, just to give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So, funeral fog. You can do it. Takes a little bit of practice. It's really harsh on your voice and it's hard to do, but it's so fucking fun. And it sounds so goddamn good. Like, you can't ever go wrong with that scream. It's great. But, yeah, I figured I'd show you how to do it. I have practiced that as well as the Kurt Cobain one. And just like Kurt Cobain, I know a lot about Dead. I've done a lot of research on him and his psychiatric condition. Psychiatric condition? What the fuck am I talking about? Psychological condition. I can't fucking talk. What the fuck is your psychiatric condition? His psychological condition and his mental state, you know. That's what I'm getting at. I've done a lot of research on that. And, I feel a great similarity with that guy. I feel like we have a lot in common. I know this thing's about to turn off, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off and back on real quick, just to fuck with the timer. So anyway, it's back on now. But I do that. What is this thing? Yeah, I have a lot in common with him. I have a lot of past trauma. A lot. Like, and just like Pelle, I was beaten up at school and oddly enough, in 7th grade, that's when he blacked out that time and died for like 20 minutes. I used to black out all the time from being beaten up, but not to the point I died, thankfully. But it still fucked with me enough that I'm damn near as disturbed as Pelle was, but not like, I'm not collecting roadkill, if you get what I mean. I'm just super fucking, I have really, really bad depression problems and this weird obsession with death and fucking shit. That comes from childhood trauma and stuff like that, which is why he was that way, I assume. It would make sense if that were the case. So I think that's what it was. I think it was past childhood trauma that made him the way he was. And I really, really relate to that. And I'm going to make that video about that tonight. Was going to do it last night, but the internet took a shit last night. So yeah, and not too long after it took a shit, I was going to wait for it to come back on, but you know, I fell asleep. So I'm doing it tonight just because I love making videos at night. So yeah. Oh, and also I dyed my hair black, in case you're wondering. That's why it looks so dark. So yeah. Dead was a really messed up dude, and he pulled from that in his vocal style. And you know, he's dead, obviously. You know, he's not here with us anymore, but it's arguably for the best, because the type of depression he had, it's like what I've got, but it was like times 10. The shit that he had is worse than, it's like the worst thing you can live with. It's worse than multiple fucking sclerosis. It's worse than cancer. Because, you know, every fucking day, you know, like with MS, the symptoms of, most people think of MS as being like this really bad disease next to cancer. I know people that have got MS. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's rough. And, you know, the symptoms come and go, but with severe depression like he had, I mean, every day you just think about, I mean, with me even, a lot of the time I think about killing myself and stuff like that, and like have dreams where you die and all this fucking weird shit. And I remember as a kid, now I never had heard of this dude. It's not like I'm emulating him. When I was a kid, not like young kid, but 17. I'm like 20 now, but you know, and I was like a bit younger, like teenager, 17. I remember I was kicked out of the house when I came out that my mom was by. So she kicked me out and I slept in this rotting tool shed for a week. And I actually liked it. It was fucking weird. Like, I'd sleep out there among the rotting shit. I slept on a couch in there that had cockroaches all in it. There was an open hole in the roof above me, and every night it would rain. So it was just like raining on me. And I'd get soaking wet every night. I smelled like death after living up there for a couple days. I had nothing to eat, so I just kind of like starved for a couple days. And it smelled like something died in there, but I liked it. It was weird, and it's fucking odd. It's like you get so depressed that you want to surround yourself with death as much as possible, because that's what you're going to end up eventually. That's what, because you want to die so bad that you just surround yourself with. I have not done that. Well, I have done that since. As a matter of fact, I did that shit the other day. I'll go out in the woods sometimes and sleep on the ground, next to like some rotting stump or something. This is fucking odd. It's weird shit. Depression makes you do strange things. Now, mine's nowhere near as bad as Pelle Olen's. Like, that dude had the same type of depression I got, but if you take the dial and you turn it up to 115, that's what he had. He had some rare-ass, severe form of depression that just debilitates you. And, yeah, I can understand why he shot himself. Is it a good thing? Depends on the way you look at it, but to me, yeah, probably a good thing, because it's rough. I can imagine with what I've got, it's rough a lot of the time. With what he's had, it must have been impossible to do daily things. It must have made life just totally unenjoyable. There were no bright spots. For me, there's bright spots, you know. I can have fun. I have happy days and stuff. Him? No. There weren't any happy days. Everything was bleak. Everything was terrible. And it reflected in his vocal style and in the lyrics he wrote. Life Eternal. Have you ever read the lyrics for Life Eternal? Holy shit. That's a bleak song. My favorite song, though, it is my favorite song that I've ever listened to. And because of the lyrics, because I have similar views, they're not exactly like his. They're views I've had since I was like 16. I took like some elements of Buddhism and like inverted the shit and like warped it a little bit. I'll make another video about my beliefs though, like next time. But Yeah, I'll mention them in my backstory video that I'm gonna do in a little while. I'll mention them there. So yeah. I'm gonna break that thing up into multiple parts though. Like I'm gonna do a 20-minute section, upload that, do another like 20 or 30-minute section, upload that, because for some reason there's a glitch on my phone or a glitch in the YouTube app where if I try to upload something over like 2 hours, it won't upload. And I know that people won't watch it a full 2-hour video anyway in one sitting, so I need to like break it up into parts so I can ensure that you guys will watch it, because you dudes, man, I want you to feel like a connection to me in a way. Like when I make these videos, I don't want to be like just some random some random personality, just some random dude making fucking videos. I want there to be some sort of I don't know. I want you to feel like you're watching a friend of yours or something. You know what I mean? I'm like that on my Instagram too. I try to help people out a lot, and I try to be like a personable sort of figure. I want to do that on here too, so I figure I'll just tell you a lot about me. Tell you some personal stuff about me. Not everything. There's some things that won't be told, of course. But mostly everything, yeah. Yeah, and I'll leave out names and everything, so yeah. Because I don't want anybody to get looked up. But yeah, I'll do a video on my backstory because I feel it's important. But, Dead, yeah. I feel a lot of similarity with him. I can relate to him deeply. And I understand why he did what he did. And if I was in his position, I would have done exactly the same thing. But his vocals, man, that he will remain a legend. I don't know if you've noticed this, but despite him not being very popular at the time or very well known at the time, as time went on, those early demos with his vocals on it are just like, they're one of the most valued pieces of black metal history. It seems like there's a lot of people that really, really like him and prefer his vocal style over Attila's, and wish that he stayed alive longer to make the De Mysteriis Dom Satanas and stuff like that. So, I mean, I wish he did too. I wish he just could have stuck it out until De Mysteriis Dom Satanas released. Because can you imagine what the studio version with Dead's vocals on it would have been like? That's a game changer. That is a fucking game changer. But, you know, we don't have that, so we'll live with what we got. But anyway, I'm going to sign off of here and upload this. We'll get another one up. Actually, first, though, I want to mention that I do use a vocal style sort of similar to Dead's in Erebus, my band, my little solo project thing. And I haven't been able to, I've been writing some lyrics for it, as of last night, and I've got like the first couple lines done. I'm working on the chorus. I was working on it as of before filming this. And I stopped to film this, so I was working on the chorus line for that, so yeah. Anyway, just wanted to give you that little update there. There is an update video on my book coming up, like, if not tonight, tomorrow morning or tomorrow night, so yeah. Anyway, see you around, clowns. Ha-ha, hee-hee, and a hoo-hoo, ha-ha. I'm fucking crazy, what can I say? Yeah, I'll see you in the next one.